guys, it's Miss Ash here, and today we have a very special activity to do. One of the things that we always enjoy the most in our classroom, and I'm sure all classrooms, is going on a field trip. And since we can't go on field trips together, we're going to go on a virtual field trip today. And my friend Devin is taking us to one of my most favorite places. I used to go here all the time when I was a little girl, and it's the Belle Isle Conservatory. Hope you guys have fun on this trip.
Welcome to the beautiful Anna Scripps Whitcomb Conservatory based on Belle Isle, Detroit. Placed right in the river between Canada on one side and Detroit on the other side. This conservatory is a glass house that is used to keep tropical and subtropical plants alive, which would otherwise die in our rough Michigan winters. It is separated into 5 different homes that each have a unique ecosystem for unique plants to go along with it. As you walk into the conservatory, you walk into the main lobby area, which is here to welcome you and to help you on your adventure through this beautiful space. They also have some unique and different carnivorous plants that eat bugs in this very cool, smaller glass house. The island is operated by the Michigan DNR. The first house we're going to enter is the Palm House. This is the largest house in the conservatory and by far the tallest. As you enter, you already get to see some of the tallest palm trees you'll ever see in Michigan or based here. This house has also a lot of other cool things, like this punk tree. This is one of the last remaining palm trees in the conservatory. It goes all the way to the top of the dome. As you look up, you can see this tree is fruiting. This beautiful palm tree. You can also see an active watering system going on, making sure the plants stay nice and warm and wet. Many of these plants would only survive in the southern part of the planet or in a greenhouse like this. If they were outside in Michigan, they would surely die once winter came. One of the cool things about the conservatory are the different fruit trees that exist. This is a papaya fruit. Once again, it can only really thrive in this warm and wet area. Unlike the plants you can find in Michigan, a lot of these tropical plants have very cool leaf patterns that are unique to these type of plants. The next house we are going to walk into is the tropical house. This house is smaller than the palm house, but also has a lot of different types of tropical plants in here. Once again, they are really loving the heat and the sun that is provided by the conservatory. And right here, we have a little banana plant that is not fruiting yet. A dwarf banana plant. Look at one of these little blooms. This is what we call a shrimp plant, because the flower looks like a little shrimp. Some of these plants you may find at your own home, such as this peace lily plant. Many houseplants that we consider for our homes are really tropical plants. This one's called a curly croton because of its curly leaves. The cool thing about the tropical house is, once again, some more of its citrus fruits. This house is known for its oranges. Right here we have some oranges that aren't quite ripe yet. They're still growing and green, but as they mature, they'll become orange. Here's another unique bloom that you only see out in the tropics or in the conservatory on Belle Isle. Some of the flowers even have spots on them. This tree is cut up, but it still has one fruit left on it. The fruit has seeds in it, which will later be planted to produce more of that plant. There's even some small elephants here. Here is an orchid. This is one of the most unique plants on the planet. The temperature is almost 80 degrees. Right here we have a variegated lemon tree. And if we look up, we have tall banana plants. Unlike the dwarfs, these go all the way up to the ceiling. Although none are producing bananas right now, later in the year they will. Here's a different kind of bloom. This leaf interrupts in the middle. This plant's called a powder puff plant because its blooms look like little powder puffs. The next house we are going into is the show house. This house changes throughout the year depending on the season. Right now, we're looking at a beautiful spring show filled with tropical spider plants, cyclamen plants, and even rubber plants. Feels just like rubber. Different times of the year, we'll have different shows in this house. The most prominent feature of this house is this giant rocky wall. There's even a disco ball in here. The next house is the cactus house. This is the driest house in the conservatory because the plants in here do not like a lot of water. They also are some of the most dangerous plants in the conservatory. You would not want to get pricked by one of these. Although it is not as lush as the other houses, this is an important ecosystem outside of the conservatory. Many of these plants would only be found in deserts or hot and dry areas on the planet. Because of this, these plants are even more unique than the ones in the tropical houses. They have to survive in very harsh conditions, meaning they have adapted in different ways. You certainly would want to make sure you're careful around these guys. This one is called an old man cactus because of its gray hair. Let's check on the temperature of this house. Over 90 degrees. The final house in the conservatory is called the fernery. In this tropical house, we are shown all the different ferns that are able to grow in conditions that are hot, wet, and humid. These ferns are very special because they do not have a flower, unlike the other plants in the conservatory. Some of these plants are the same plants that were eaten by dinosaurs all those years ago. It is one of the oldest types of plants that exist on the planet. This is a tree fern, commonly found in Australia. This is a staghorn fern, named for the look of its leaves. In Mexico, they call it a moose fern. These type of ferns would also not be able to survive out in Michigan. But Michigan does have ferns that do. But these are tropical ferns. There's even a bird in here. This house is the most wet and humid house in the conservatory. It's also one of the most peaceful. Ferns have spores on them, which is how they reproduce. There's also some sails in here to help shade some of these ferns. Some of these tree ferns also go all the way up to the ceiling, along with this pterodactyl. The fernery is also a good place to come and sit and enjoy the nature around you. Along with some of the plants that live here, there's also some other creatures. As we exit the conservatory, we get to see a new area being planted with a mango tree. The conservatory is always changing. We can exit through here, and we're back in the lobby.
So what did you guys think? Did you have fun on our field trip? Did you learn something new about a plant? Did you see any plants that you have at your house? I did. Why don't you guys send me pictures of the plants you have at home? We'll see if we can find any that are the same. I hope you guys had fun on this field trip, and I look forward to going on another one soon.